Welcome back, ladies and gents. I have another market watch for you today. I did have one that I posted earlier, but that was something that I filmed a couple of days ago. So I kind of wanted to get a more current update on the market and some things that I'm seeing get bought out and move in price. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this market watch. So the first thing that I came across today is that Ozza, the Earth Charmer Immovable Starlight Rare, is up in price. As you can see here, I did talk about this a while ago when I did a market watch and I looked at all the Starlight Rares for the Charmers, at least the extra deck monsters. And I said, you know, we're seeing all of these get bought up. A lot of these are over $500. And the cheapest one was Ozza and it was 135 to 150. And I was like, look, you know, people that are buying these other ones, they need this card to complete that set. So this will eventually move up in price. And I mean, it didn't take long. As you can see here, this is around when I talked about it. And we're up at, it says 150, but the lowest listing as of now is 280 for Near Mint First Edition. So if you wanted to pick these up, you know, it's kind of too late at this point, unfortunately. I mean, if you can find some on eBay or something that still haven't moved up quite a bit, or this much at least, you could go do that. But yeah, if you're trying to get this card, unfortunately, that period is kind of past. But with that being said, I do want to look at the other Charmers, not the Starlight Rares, because we kind of know there's around 500, except for Dark, which is around 350, I believe now, which is crazy because that was like 250 at one point. So the first one I want to look at is just the other variants or the regular variants of Ozza. The ultra rare is around 20 cents. And then there's a rare for 10 cents and another rare for 30 cents. I remember when this rare Ignition Saw was a solo print and it was around $8. And I had a couple that I sold actually at $8, which is crazy. With that being said, I would invest into the ultra rare. And one of the reasons I'm saying that is because we have, I think, most of these in ultra rare from either the 2020 tens, which is Win, or the 2021 tens. I think for people that want to collect these but don't have the money to go to the Starlight Rare, you know, option, which is me included, this is just a great way to get these for relatively cheap. And it's, you know, still a hollow version that looks relatively good. I have multiple of these, like for each one of the different Charmers. Yeah, I think they look really nice, and it's something that I'll be sitting on for a while, especially at 20 cents. I mean, it's like, you're worried about it going to 10 cents. I mean, it really only has room to go up. I don't know if this will be like an expensive card per se, but you could definitely hold this and see it go to a couple bucks for sure. And then it's always good in case like Tri Brigade becomes really good again. You can use that to steal their monsters from their graveyard. Next is Area. This is one of the Starlight Rares that's over 500, I believe, but you can get the ultra rare from the 2021 tens for 13 cents here, and then go up to 20. The super rare is actually a little bit more expensive, but that's because it's from Eternity Code. I actually wouldn't mind having the super rare as well, just because I love Eternity Code. Then it also has a rare, but the best one to get is going to be the ultra rare because you can buy stacks of it for really cheap. Moving on, we have Hida. I don't believe we do not have an ultra rare for this one, unfortunately, which is, you know what? I think we got the Starlight Rare in Phantom Rage, I believe. Yeah, that's correct. And I think now this is one of the cheaper Charmer Starlight Rares. That's actually a good pickup as well if you wanted to do that. But it is going to cost you. It's going to be around 250 to 300 for that. But it's still relatively low. And to me, this one's like the best looking waifu one, like the compared to like Ozza, it looks kind of like Velma. But this is probably also one of the least useful ones because I can't think of any fire archetypes offhand that would be played really. But for collection purposes, this is one of the coolest looking ones in my opinion. But it does have an OTS tournament pack, super rare, which is the only non-Starlight Hollow version. Really think that's a good pickup for $225. Lena, the Light Charmer, Lustrous, super rare. These are actually up quite a bit in price. I remember getting a bunch of these last year for like 90 cents. And these are over $2 now, heading up towards $3. This did come out in Lightning Overdrive, so it will be reprinted in the tins this year, I would imagine, as either, you know, the prismatic or an ultra rare. Prismatic would look nice, but I kind of feel like it would be a little weird to not match the ultra rare that we've gotten for the other charmers. So we'll see, but at the same time, this would look great as prismatic. If you have these, I would honestly look to offload them. And the reason why is if we get a higher rarity reprint in the tins, this will come down quite a bit in price to be around, you know, 20, 30 cents. So I'm personally going to take my stack. I invested in this card for this reason. I thought it would get bought up before we get the reprint. And yeah, it's hit my targets, which was at, you know, $2 to $3. I'm going to try to sell them for, you know, $2.50 each. I do have 4 copies, so it should be fairly easy because people probably want to play set. Let's see, moving on. But like when this does get a reprint though, before we move on, make sure you get them. I just think that it's a great idea to have a play set of each one of these Charmer extra deck monsters because the Starlights are so out of reach and people are still going to want these. Next is Win. This ultra rare is up in price for the 2020 Mega Tins at $2.30. And this is just a good range of where we could see the other ultra rares go that we just got in 2021 and the 21 tins, at least, which are now like 20 cents. Like those could definitely go up to this $2 to $3 range. But I would get this as well, like, because it's not going to go down. We probably won't get another hollow reprint for a while. So hopefully you already have these, but if you don't, I would still get them. No other hollow prints. So I would stay away from these other ones and just get the ultra rare. Next, I want to go over some cards that have been bought out. I know we talk about this card so much on here, so we're not going to go into what it does or anything. We're just going to look at the price and just discuss the price. And that is Masquerade the Blazing Dragon at $35, going up to $40 here. I'm just blown away that this card has gone. I mean, this is the card I told you to get at $9. And then again at $12, like it's not, you know, I said it's not too late. And then again at $15. And I should have told you to get this a long time before then, but I just, you know, it just hadn't really crossed my mind yet at that point. But if you did pick these up at $9 to $15 when I told you, like, congrats, you made a ton of money. Young Ancestors, this, you know, I think this is one of my subs. I wonder if that's him, because he actually comments all the time on here. So I wonder if that's his store. But yeah, if you're selling it for $39, dude, you're doing really good. Hopefully you picked them up too when they were a lot cheaper. But let me know in the comment section if you watch this video, Young Ancestor. Let me know if that's your store or not, because you got impressive sale rates there. You know, 1350 sales, 100%. I mean, you got more sales than I do. All right, moving on. Somebody really wanted me to cover Zeus. I know I have done it recently, and I apologize for having kind of market watches that are close together, looking at the same cards. But you know, the reason why I'm doing that is because the market's kind of boring right now, and there's only like competitive cards really moving. You have some of these other like competitive cards like Zeus that kind of slowly go up, but as far as buyouts, I'm only really seeing them for the most part for competitive speculation or stuff related to Despia. And, you know, that's just the state of the financial markets too. But the ultimate rare is at $60, really good, or, you know, 59 here. That's a really good pickup, I think, long term, because the Starlight rare is at $300. So I know I've talked about this before. It's not going to surpass the Starlight rare or come close, but I do think this is an easy $100 target over time, especially if we can stay at 3 copies and not hit the ban list. But yeah, something to keep your eye on and get sooner rather than later. The secret rares as well, this is what I have, and at $20 to $25 is really good for this card. I think the secret rare is actually my favorite version. I just think it looks really, really clean. And also, I will say I have seen this and it looks really, really good. But for some reason, ultimate rare Xyz monsters don't look as good as secret rare monsters to me. Well, the secret rare versions, but with that being said, ultimate rare is my favorite rarity, but it also kind of depends on the card. But these do look really nice being ultimate rare and Xyz. And then the 10s are 14, but you can buy a stack 0, which is nice. Any of these versions are fine to get. Obviously, I would stay closer to the top end here with the original print and then the ultimate rare or starlight rare. If you want to do that, that's fine too. But honestly, ultra rare too. All these versions are going to go up in price, especially if you don't see a reprint. This is like the reason why I think that this is going to do well over time is if you look at something like Borreload Savage Dragon, it's got the 2 printings, one being the prismatic secret rare in the 10 and then the original ultra rare. And those are $40 plus. And this is similar where we only have a secret and a ultra rare, but we also do have a little bit more on the upper end. But, this is low quantities. So there's not going to be a lot of these out there relatively. And I mean, the Starlight even more so. And if this ever does start seeing play again, like in every deck, or in a lot of decks at least, like it's just going to go up. But over time, this is one of those cards that you're going to see it just trickle off the market. Okay, so I didn't even know that I had this pulled up. These are like 300 to 350. I think probably more towards 350. You got one here for 365, but that's the TCG player direct, so there's probably a couple underneath that. But yeah, this is one of those things I don't think you're going to see it skyrocket like anytime soon. You're just going to see it slowly go up, and this was $11.99 not too long ago. We'll click into this. The secret rare really hasn't moved, but we'll see what the ultra rare is doing. So closer to the end of last year, yeah, we saw it at $11. I remember when it got released. Of course, it's going to be expensive. It's still relatively new, but the bottom out point was $11, and we've just been slowly creeping up. We did have a point here where we hit 18. We're back up to like 15 to 16, and I think it'll continue to go up. It's always good to have staple extra deck monsters like this because they just do well long term, especially if you're not seeing reprints every once in a while. This is another viewer pick that they wanted me to look at. I do have these secret rares, but I don't have the Starlights, unfortunately. This is Heavenly Zephyr Miradora. And basically, this is, I guess, the thing that I would compare this to is Fleur de Lis, like you're special summoning it from your hand and then negating one of your opponent's monster with 2,000 more attack. I think this card looks very cool and it is good in theory, but one problem I have with it is it's a little situational and doesn't give you as much flexibility as something like Effect Veiler or Ghost Mourner or Infinite Impermanence for that matter. The only good thing that this does for you is like it can't be negated, which is really good. But these are around $72, bottoming out towards 76. If you want to grab these, I think it's not a bad long-term hold. And there might be a format where this is good. I don't see a format where this is good anytime soon. And believe me, because I love the artwork on this card, I've tried to make it work time and time again in the side deck. And just every time I've drawn it, I've just wished it was a Ghost Mourner or really any other hand trap or Effect Veiler for that matter. But yeah, I mean, if you wanted to get the secret rares, they're also very cheap. But like I said, with most of these cards that were printed in the last year or so that are going to be reprinted this year in the Mega 10s, just wait. We'll see what the secret rares are at, because if they're really low, like $1 or $2, then the Mega 10 reprint won't really affect it. Tri-Brigade kits at $9.50. Wow, that's crazy. I do want to do a deck profile at some point for this, which is why I haven't sold mine yet. Prosperity 500 plus makes sense. These are also a sell target. I would sell these before. You can keep them for now if you want to. I think they're great. I sold mine recently, I think for like 27, 28 bucks or something like that, because they'll come down to like $15 or maybe even less once we get a reprint of it. They're just not that widely played, but it is widely loved as a, as it's for its artwork. Let's move down. Oh my God. See, this is like a indicator of the collector's market, like seeing Trishula at 188, to 190 is insane. That shouldn't be that low. All right, I'm gonna try to find Miradora. It's back here, so it must be really cheap. You know what? I should do high to low, but it should be on one of the best selling lists. So we'll just look. Here it is. So it's $2.50. Yeah, I mean, you can grab them if you want to, because I don't know if a reprint will really even affect it that much from this point. Maybe it'll go down to a dollar, but I kind of doubt it because it's a hand trap secret rare. I would just make sure long term that you have these secret rare first editions in your collection. I just think that it will be a okay card long term, and you just never know if you want to play it. This set is so bad, I don't even want to look at it any longer. All right, talents, just wanted to quickly cover this because we have covered it recently. We're seeing a price spike, and it is now 62 lowest for light play, but near mint at 62, but then we quickly go up and bottom out to 80. So I've mentioned this card a lot, but I do think that this is a very good short-term investment. Try to find these for 55 to 60. Actually, we'll show. So I just got my personal play set in of the secret rares. They look so good. I've had so many of these like come through my house, as far as like I always pick them up and then sell them. But it's just a card that I really, really miss having when I don't have it. That's all that needs to be said for that. But I mean, the ultra rare is also good too, to have, not as much so as an investment, but just to make sure that you have your playing copies. There are going to be a lot of those on the market. So it's going to be hard for those to move up in price. But like we see with Cross-Out Designator, just like if it gets hype, it doesn't really matter how much is out there, it gets bought up. And a lot of those copies are selling every day. So you don't want to get stuck with not having it if you need it. So that's why I just wanted to quickly cover this and just do a price update. I'm sorry that sometimes it seems that I'm like covering the same cards oftenly, but when things are moving or I think things are getting ready to explode, I want to make sure I cover as much as possible, because if there's a subscriber that only watches one of my videos once per week or once, a couple times per month, I want to make sure I can reach that person and let them know what's going on. Apples of Bow the Goddess secret rare. I want to take a look at this. The light play first edition is at 42 and near mint is 48.50, going up to $50 here. This is a card that I picked up at $20 for near mint first edition right after we got the gold reprint. So at that point we'd had 2 reprints. And it's something that I really like. I don't even think I didn't have my channel at that point, but I was making sure all my friends that I knew played the game had them. So I know lots of people now that got these at 20 bucks, and hopefully you were, looking out in the market then too and got yours. I would never sell this for $50, honestly. At the time I wasn't investing as much as I am now, but I wish I would have bought a lot more, because I only have my personal copy. That was kind of like, I still have my store then, but I was mainly focused on playing at the time, which I am still very much focused on playing and what's going to be good. Trying to flip with profits. I mean, I am interested in it, but it's at the same time, I'm more interested in making sure I get the cards that I need to play with the right prices. And then I guess I've never really talked about this before probably, but the main reason I have a store is it is to make money, but it's more so to make one of my favorite hobbies more affordable to me, and so that I can reinvest that money into my hobby, not really to take home and pay rent. Next is Ad Libitum of Despia. I've talked about this a lot as well. It is up to $2 now, $175 to $2. If you want to get this playset here, not too bad. I do have a bunch of these. I just got I think this is like 6 copies more. I just think it's really, really good, especially for one of the main combos going first. If all you need is branded opening, not branded opening, sorry. Well, that works too, but you just need a way to get to your branded fusion, and your opening combo is insane. But I'll probably do a video on some combos with that deck sooner or later. Hopefully I can get to that soon. But yeah, I suspect that this will keep inching up. $1.32 here. I don't know what they're doing, what they're pricing, but I don't know why this is down here so far. But yeah, that's not too bad. I think I paid like 99 cents per copy for these that I just got, but originally I bought a playset for like 30 cents. Tinny Spirit Vishuda. So I went through those from the past two to see what cards are moving up. There are a couple. I will say overall, things are kind of moving back up right now in general. There's a few cards that aren't, but for the ghost rares, we kind of hit a bottom out point night one. And we've kind of bounced back a little bit. Like we saw the spear modes going down to 50, and now they're back to 70. We saw this was on my market watch earlier today, but we saw the I have Timaeus went down to $35, which is unbelievable, but it's now back towards 45. And I even saw the Ghost Rare Dark Magician Girls go to 350, and they're back up to 375. But those are kind of not bouncing back as hard. It'll be interesting to see where that stuff goes. But I'll be here to keep you guys updated. But Tinny Spirit Vishuda, I did pre-order these for quite a bit under $1. Just because I love 10Us and I just wanted to upgrade the rarities. These are back to $2.50. Like I said, there was, I think like the day or two before the release, the pre-sales were going for, I think 50 to 70 cents for this card, which is when I picked it up. And yeah, we're bottoming back up to $3. Do I think it can dip back down from here? Yeah, I do. I do think it can come back to like maybe $1.25, $1.50. But time will tell. I mean, these are really selling, and there's only 30 listings here, which is crazy. That's really low. Next, I wanted to kind of check in on Battle of Chaos, see where cards are moving, because there are a lot of cards in this set that have been moving recently, as you know. This set it was kind of not that great when it released, but it's just gotten better over time, which does happen for sure. Guardian Chimera, these are back up to 55. These had cooled off to like 45 to 47 recently, like last week, and they're heading back up, which is expected. Whenever we see something like Aliber getting reprinted and losing, hundreds of dollars from where it was as a playset, that money is going to go back into the deck. Like you're seeing Masquerade increases, branded opening increases, which branded opening is now $25 if you didn't know. Branded in red is increasing. So, and this of course is now increasing. And I assume other cards will too, like Ad Libitum. But yeah, this is now 55 for near, or I guess 52 for near mint, going up to 55, and only 67 listings. So it is selling. Threesias are down to $15. If you missed the first train, I would go ahead and start picking these up again. I don't think it's a bad time to get them, but could it go lower? Maybe a little bit. I assume that there will be more hype when the new set comes out, Dimension Force. Illusion of Chaos at $30. This card really has no business at $30 like it used to be. It should be more than this is what I'm going to say. Great collector's card. It's not going to be reprinted for at least another year. Next year's Megatens. So you're looking at like a year and 4 or 5 months, maybe a year and 6 months, depending on what month they release that. And this card's busted. I mean, we're still seeing base see tons of play, but there's a lot of decks that actually are playing this engine. And of course, if you're playing Dark Magician, you're going to be playing this at, 2 or 3 copies. I actually had a lot of fun playing, like testing Dark Magician with this at 3 copies and then actually ritual summoning this. Because it cycles itself so well. Like you can just get this out every turn and have that one negate, which, Dark Magician does not have negates built into that archetype. Has decent removal, but that's really it. Threesia back down to 144. That's not too bad. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it was either get it at 90 to 95 or don't. So yeah, I wouldn't buy it at this price personally, but do I think it's a bad investment at this price? I don't think so. It looks amazing, I will say that, but right now the collector side of things doesn't sell cards. It does and it doesn't. Like obviously we're still seeing Dark Magician Girl doing really well, but there's just not as much demand as there would be in a very bullish collector's market. Flunderies, Advent Adventure, back up to like $12, and going up to 14, under 100 listings, which is good for this card. But yeah, like I said, the Ryza got reprinted, and if you look at the market watch I did earlier today where I covered Flunderies in more detail, I said these cards were actually cheaper. All the Flunderies cards were cheaper, and they're not moved up a bunch, but they have moved up a tad bit, like $1 or $2. So I would just keep your eye on this stuff, because I don't know if it's gonna just fly off the shelves, but I think it could increase over time for sure, especially over this year. But we'll have to see. Sometimes it just doesn't play out the way you think it's going to. I would have thought this would be more towards 20 by now. But you win some, you lose some. I didn't invest too heavily into this card. I think I got a couple of copies, but I'm happy to sit on it, and maybe one day we'll play it. Who knows? Dark Magician, I mean, this card has fallen out big time, down to under $110. Like I said, the collector's market's just not all the way there right now. So, but this is also an ultra rare. Had this been a Starlight rare, I think it would have done really well. But for whatever reason, they wanted to do ultra rare, which I do like ultra rares, and I bet this card looks great. But who's actually spending over $100 for this? Only collectors, but right now collectors just aren't really buying, and I don't really know that there's a big collector's market for new cards, really. I mean, there is for sure, like as we're seeing the new Ghost Rare sell, but if you took the whole collector's market, I imagine it's a smaller segment that want new cards versus the ones that want the original prints or older variants. Starlight Charmer Dark is $350. There's one for $285 for light play. That's really not too bad. That card will be $500 to $600 one day. If you have these, hold on to them like you would gold. Domain back down to $580. I don't know that this will see play in the competitive branded deck like we've seen in the OCG. They kind of just stay with the, I can't remember what the trap's called, but they play the other trap. But the version I like playing does play this card at 3, because I think if you really want to see your Dynamorphia plays every turn, or starting off at your first turn at least, you kind of need more than just those 3 trap cards. Geek Boy down to $680. Like I said, I said if you had these, sell them at $11-12. They're probably going to calm down more. They might see a temporary spike whenever we get the new support, but I don't think this deck's going to go anywhere soon. It needs more support down the line, but it is something I'm interested in long term. I will pick these back up if they continue to go down, just because I got these for the artwork to begin with anyways. I guess that was half of it, but it also has a broken effect, so I was like kind of speculating that it might get hype, which it did. Let's see if there's anything else in here that we really want to go over. Okay, Jet Dragon at 10 to 11. I do think that, I mean, this card is great for blue eyes, don't get me wrong, but it is a collector's card, and it's going to take a while for this to take off. And honestly, I'll probably be more interested in this card once it gets a reprint and I could get it for cheaper, because I just don't want to spend $10, $11 on this personally. And I'm sure a lot of you feel the same. This card at 225 is really good as well, but it is a collector's card, and I just don't think this is going to move for a while. These are good long-term too. Like if you're going to get Jet Dragon and you wanted to invest in it on the collector side of things, you're better off just going with this and the secret rare, because the secret rare gets reprinted, it's going to drop. I can't believe this card's up to $5, but yeah, I would actually hold this for a while and see what happens. If you have them, I wouldn't pick them up though. These at 185, it's good. These were up to like 230 to 250. These aren't selling right now. I don't know. It's kind of surprising, honestly. I know this is a collector's card, but at the same time, this is an insane meta card, you know, if played in certain decks with Magician Souls. I think this is a good price to pick these up at, if you're asking me. Honestly, when it was 150, it was a steal, but I think this is still a steal, sorry, in my opinion. Salesman, I do have one of these that I pulled that I didn't sell, that I might just kind of sit on for a while, but these have just been $5 and they probably will be $5 for the foreseeable future. Kintragina, you know, you should have picked these up when they were 50 to 70 cents, but not too bad to get at $2. And I think these had gone up a little bit more than this. $7, not too bad for this. I do think this is something great to have in your binder long term, but you know, it's not needed right now. So like, this is something that I'm just gonna wait until a reprint comes and then grab the originals. Like I kind of just keep like a moving list of cards that I want to get at a certain point, but I try to be smart about when I get them, if that makes sense. This is going up towards $2. You know, going along with the other Charmer stuff, I would make sure you have this as well. And the reason why I'm saying not to wait for the reprint is because that's over a year away, and this is seeing meta play now, especially with DPE in the format. These are $450. I mean, I guess, but like I said, I just don't think the Libromancer stuff is worth it right now. Did you see the actually we'll take a look at the pre-sales. It's like absolutely insane for Dimension Force. Tomias, I have one of these. I think it's kind of cool to have, but I wouldn't invest in it. This card is I love. I need to pick this up because I tried to pick it up before and it got canceled. So I need to repick this up, but it's like a major burn card. If you could play it in conjunction with other cards, you can end up burning your opponent for quite a bit. I do think this sees play in Sword Soul. A lot of these cards are going to be good pickups for like long term. These are $22. See, I talked about this card when someone asked me one of the premieres I did, like, if I'm picking up Geek Boys, is it worth it getting the Premier Edition? And at that point, like, the Premier Edition was like $13 and the Geek Boys like secrets were like $8. And I said, get the Premier Edition, you know, because it's a lot harder to get and they're almost the same price anyways. So if you ended up getting those when you asked me about it, like, you know, good on you, you did pretty good. These are also good long term. This card is sick, honestly. I really enjoy it, and I need to get more. This is actually a pretty good deal here for $1. Ultimate Fusions, they're okay, not great. This card is really good for DDD, but that's pretty much it. What we're going to do now is go look at the pre-sales. Actually, before we do the pre-sales, I'm going to kind of show you some of the cards I got in the mail the last week, because I do like to show you guys what I'm, you know, putting my money into. So I showed you that I got the Talents. I do have another playset coming. I just want one to keep, one to sell. Kind of feel like that's one of the better ways to do things. Usually the rule of 9s is the best. You know, one playset for you to play and then 2 playsets to offload. And sometimes you can like pay for the playset doing that you're using. But I picked those up, well, you know, 6 copies total. Then I got one secret rare Ghost Mourner for the collection. I'm not going to play with the secret rares because I have the ultras and then the golds, so those are fine. I just want to keep one of these like minty condition long term. And maybe pick up more if I can find some like $25. I just feel more comfortable that way. I think I got this for around 25, and then it spiked up to like 36. I think they're down a little bit now, but I'm just gonna wait, get them at the price that I'm comfortable with. I did get a first edition Duelist Alliance window. So now I think I have the alt art, the secret rare, and the original print, which is what I wanted. I just really like this card. I finally got my Guardian Chimera, and let me tell you, this was hard to get for me. I almost gave up on just getting this card altogether. The first one never showed up in the mail. I did get a refund, so I don't have to worry about that. But then I ordered this one, unfortunately, $35 more than what the first copy I tried to get would have cost me. But I checked the tracking for this like earlier this week because it was coming in the mail, and it said that it was delivered to New Mexico, and I panicked. I was like, did I put in the wrong address? What's going on here? So I just messaged the seller, and I was like, just so you know, like the tracking number you gave me, it said that it was delivered today to New Mexico. I'm sure that you just accidentally put the wrong tracking number in, but can you verify? And he said, well, if I check out the tracking number on my end, it's saying that it's still up for delivery in Atlanta, Georgia. And I was like, okay, then I feel safe about it then. But I was like, and then he later messaged me, he's like, oh, you were right. I did just mix up. I put someone else's tracking number for your order. So I was just like, phew, I didn't want to have to deal with that situation again. And then we talked about this earlier in the market watch, but I did get a Royal Surrender in. Looks absolutely incredible. It is a first edition. And yeah, the seller that had the talents also had this, and they're out of Atlanta. So I was kind of like, yeah, I'll just get one. And yeah, I'm really happy I did. It looks great. I showed you the ad libidiums. And then I also got my third ultra rare trap trick to play with. The secret rares are ridiculous if you ask me. I'm not paying $25 for those. I'm happy with that. And then I got two of these super rares. I have the first edition secret rare, and now I have 3 supers to hold on to sell later. And then I also got 2 Celestial Double Star Shamans. Great card as well. And then I'll show you this as well. So I've been investing into this card really heavily. But as you've probably seen, like I've showed you that I've gotten these before, but I've got quite a few of these. And then I have some of these alt arts. And then I just ordered another playset of the ultras, but I already have a playset of ultras as well. And then the secret that I got. And then I think I also ordered another playset of the gold rares as well. Just think that it can be a $3 or $4 card in the future. I did get these for 99 cents a piece at the time, which was not like a couple weeks ago. And they're already up like 150% because they're like $2.50 now. But moving on, let's look at the pre-sales, and I won't waste your time looking at cards that you probably don't care about. Let's see, Dimension Force. And I know quite a few people were having me look at cards. Hopefully I didn't forget any. I try to be good about doing things that people want or want to look at least. Therion Regulus is $70. Just wait on that. It's like I say, always don't get pre-sales. They're ridiculous. And as we go through these, you'll see how ridiculous they can be. Dynamorphia Frenzy Ultra Rare is at $24. Like that's the trap card. Is that really? It's $24 for an ultra rare on pre-sale. It's not going to be anywhere near this. Like $10 max. That's if like everybody wants to play this card like right off the bat. I think realistically you should be able to get this card for $5 to $8. Dynamorphia Rexterm. These are up in price. These are $19. This is based on best selling, so these are actually selling at these prices. Like, this is also an ultra rare. Like Fatch, I know you want to get these. Do not order the pre-sales, please. Just wait. Like, you're going to be able to get these for both of these for under $8 a piece. If I'm wrong, then like I'm sorry, but I just doubt it. I'm usually right on these things, and I was right with Ghost in the Past. Therion, Disc Coliseum, ultra rare, $24. Absolutely not. Stay away from that. Therion Boreas at $68. Psychic End Punisher at $50. If if this was the actual set prices when this came out, this would be like the best set we've had in a while. But it's not going to be anywhere near this. This is how it is every pre-sale. And every pre-sale I hear other like people that kind of come onto the channel and they're just like, oh man, I should not have got those pre-sales. Like now it's like a fifth of the value of what I paid. And I'm like, yeah, but you learned your lesson now, Starving Venom, Predapower, Fusion Dragon, that's a lot. $19. Beyond the Pendulum, $84. Wow, I believe this is the Link monster, and I actually will be picking these up, but not for $84. Let's see. Yes, it is. It's the Link 2. I actually want to read the effect here, and you guys might be interested too, because people are saying it's kind of like a lesser Electromite. But the 2 effect monsters, including a Pendulum monster, if this card is linked summoned in the extra monster zone, you can pay 1,200 life points, add 1 Pendulum monster from your deck to your hand, but for the rest of the turn, unless you Pendulum summon after this effect resolves, you cannot activate monster effects, and the effects of any cards in your Pendulum zones are negated. Oh, that's a lot there. But I guess unless you Pendulum summons though, it's kind of confusing. Unless you Pendulum summon after this effect resolves, you cannot activate monster effects. Okay, so you just have to Pendulum summon after this effect resolves, and then you're fine. Weird. But if 2 monsters with different original levels are Pendulum summoned at the same time to the zones this card points to, you can target 2 cards on the field, destroy them. Pretty cool card. Not nearly as good as Ultramine, of course, but it's a good card. I would think that this would top out at like $35 max once we like have these cards in hand. Do I think it's worth $35? No, because I mean, I think this will help out Pendulums substantially, but I don't think it's going to make them a tier 1 deck. But if you're a Pendulum player, like congrats, you just got a card that helps your deck quite a bit. Odd Eyes Pendulum Graph Dragon, also know nothing about this, but it pre-selling at 40. Exo Sisters Magnifica is 22. Is this the cool Exo Sister card? Okay, so it's Xyz monster. Once per turn, you can detach 1 material from this card, banish 1 card your opponent controls. When your opponent activates a card or effect, you can return 1 Xyz monster you own attached to this card to your extra deck. Then you can special summon that monster from your extra deck by using this card you control as material. It's a little weird, but pretty cool if you used all the materials in that card. This card's insane, and yeah, this is the card that I thought was gonna be coming out in this set. This is gonna help Exo Sisters out quite a bit, especially when they get the other support too. Do I think it's going to be a top strategy? No. Can it be competitive? Absolutely. Kind of sounding like it's starting to be like a tier 2 deck, maybe 1.5. But we'll have to see. And there's also like a lot of decks that you see that like, oh, it's powerful, it's strong, but you don't think it's going to be, top deck, and then someone just busts the deck. So you never know. We'll just have to see. Let's see what else is in this set. Branded Banishment. No, I don't think it's worth $4. Legal Knight, I'm actually I really want this card because it looks sick. I don't know what it does though, but $70 is way overpriced for this card because it's not nearly as good as Wandering Griffin Rider. I can't remember what this card does though, so we're going to take a look. You can special summon this card from your hand, so that's that's the same as the other ones. If you control an adventure token, quick effect, you can target up 2 cards your opponent controls, give control of this card to your opponent, and if you do, return that card / cards to the hand. So this card is pretty damn good though. I could see this card seeing play, honestly. But with that said, like you'd have to be playing a robust engine. But the thing is, though, it's like maybe not see play, because here's the issue with this card. You have to decide, will I be playing this or Wandering Griffin Rider? If you're playing the adventure token stuff, if you're going second, maybe you could side this in. I mean, I just don't see it really, though, because I mean, you're giving up an Omni Negate for this card, and you can only search one per turn. Like you either searching a Legal Knight or Wandering Griffin Rider. And yeah, you could play this and maybe search for this later in the game, but I don't know. I really don't know if this is going to see play or not, unless Griffin Rider gets banned. But if it gets banned, or we see it, you know, even if we see limits to the other cards like Water Enchantress, it'll still see play, like the engine, but I still think you would still play Wandering Griffin Rider over this. The only reason people would play this is if Wandering Griffin Rider got banned, but in that scenario, I don't know that this would be nearly as popular as an engine. Like you're mainly playing it for the Griffin Rider. So we'll see. But don't pay $70 for that. It's not as good as you think. These super rares at $4 ridiculous. Like it's rare to see a super rare above $1.50 on release. Libermancer Fire, don't be stupid. Like if you like this deck, that's cool, but don't spend your money. Like it's $45 in this card. Like it will be no more expensive than Geek Boy. What is X exclusion? Because it's at $1 for a common. That's interesting. Let's take a look. This is gonna be the last card we cover, and then we'll wrap up for the day. When your opponent activates a monster effect in their hand, negate that activation. Then if they have any cards in their hand, you can discard one card from their hand of their choice. Why'd they make this a common? They should have made this a super or an ultra rare. Don't get me wrong, it's not amazing, but it's pretty damn good. I will definitely be getting some of these. To have. It's very situational. But if you get this off, that's crazy. Because imagine they're starting their, let's just say you set this on your first turn, right? It's their turn. They go into the adventure token package and they activate Water Enchantress, or they activate Wandering Griffin Rider. You can negate that activation. And then, of course, they're going to have cards in their hand. So then you can, you know, make them pitch a card from their hand to the graveyard of their choice. Now, they could be sending something that you don't necessarily want to go to the graveyard, but you're basically, you know, at the end of the day, you're negating that effect and making them discard a card. So can be pretty powerful. I would be picking these up, especially when this gets released. Not right now, but when this gets released, be a good card to pick up. I might be getting a box of this when this comes out. I'm actually I would be more excited to open this than Ghost from the Past, because there's more cards that I want from this set. Ghost from the Past to me is just like, it's so cheap to order the singles that I would rather take, let's say, the $80 that I would be spending to open a box and then go buy a ton of singles with that, because you can get so many penny stocks. And there's a lot of cards in there that are bad that I wouldn't invest into, so I wouldn't want to get those cards if I opened it up. Okay, that's everything that I wanted to go over. Thanks for tuning in, guys. If you are not subscribed yet, hopefully I can earn your subscription. So I really try to encourage people to hit the sub button and hit the like button. And even more importantly to me, leave a comment for cards that you want to go over, your thoughts on this market watch, just anything in general. I did make a channel Twitter as a means to talk to people or make announcements. So I will be leaving my Twitter handle in the comment section for you guys. And if you haven't had a chance already to look at my other video today, it is a collaboration market watch with my white Mexican, and I am doing a giveaway for some old packs on there, like Flames of Destruction, Duelist Alliance, or Generation Force. So yeah, go if you want to, win one of those packs or potentially two, depending on if you're following both of our channels, go check out that video. And the instructions are in the comment section, but you just need to be subscribed, like the video, and then comment on the video, and then the winner is chosen at random. But thanks for watching. I will catch you guys on the next Market Watch or next video in general. Bye, guys.